The state-level conference on foundational literacy and numeracy, including the NEP and G20, was held at the Livingstone Foundation International here at KV Jao Colony. It is being organized by Central Board of Secondary Education in collaboration with the school and mandated by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. The chief speaker today was Dr. Soundarajya Borbora, who is the Vice Chancellor of ICFA University. As well as the conference had many speakers from different various fields, including Dr. John Sema, a professor in Nagaland University, and also we had Dr. T. Yolila Sanktam, the assistant professor at Nagaland University. Let's have a look at the conference.
We are privileged actually to be hosting this because in the Northeast, 7 states were earmarked and Manipur had to be left out because of the turmoil that was happening. So Manipur is not having this program over there, but we are the lucky lot in one way, but we have to keep them in our prayers that the peace reigns over there. And we are one of the states will be holding this. The importance of this matter, which FLN, NEP and G20, you'll get to know as this whole day session goes by. And I know that whoever have come here, you will have a lot of good takeaway. You will understand the importance of the new NEP, not forgetting FLN and the G20. Everything has revamped, times are changing. But anyway, to take back our Livingstone also, we started with a very humble beginning of 45 students here. This entire campus, the entire area was all jungles, and not even a single soul except for the reptiles, the insects and the birds. But it has gone through tremendous transformation. We took a baby step with NBAC, but later on we switched over and to CBSE because we had to adapt a bit with the national curriculum, and that's how it went. And as the years went by, you may be thinking that why the tagline of international is because we took Cambridge from 8 and below as one of the curriculum. We are the second in Northeast to have the international curriculum. And why so again? Is because it teaches us, and especially the children, not in cramming, not in memorization, but in understanding, concept-based. So right now, when you look at the NEP, I think it's never too late, although it has come a bit late. When we look at the adaptation of education across the globe, we see that India, in fact, I have written a book called the 3C SOS, The Final Answer. There is clearly mentioned about the difference of curriculum across the globe, and I have taken the best practices to get synced with the system of education in India as well. We all know that India was once upon a time one of the biggest hub of education, one of the number one, I would say that in education, if at all, we have to perceive. Because India had the best university, like example of Takshila, Nalanda. What happened? Times changed, but the education system did not probably change. It could have been like a Nokia, which was number one, but it's not to be found. So, I guess the system had to be changed. That's why the NEP has come in. So I feel that we all need to understand and adapt to the modern age. So in the book which was mentioned over there, the best practices across the globe, we have to understand one thing, as Einstein had been questioned once. One of a guy asked him very casually, "Sir, what is the speed of sound?" And he, without a blinking of his eye, he said, "I don't know. And I don't need to know such kind of a numerical in my mind. You have the textbook, you'll get the answers there." That was then. But now, you have the Google. You just type what is the speed of sound or light, you'll get it. Why do you have to memorize? Why do you have to cram it? No need to cram. That is why the new system of education is not about, the value of education is not about cramming, not about rote memory, not about memorization, it's about concept. And the most important, powerful tool is the student should not be taught what to think, but how to think. This is the modern trend. So So we are giving Stonites, Livingston especially, you need to think for yourself. You need to adapt the situation, not the rote memory. That is why, again, the good thing of the CBSE, what they have done is that they have done away, they have been redundant, is on the merit list. The merit list is no more now from this year. Like no top 10, no top 20, no national tops, no regional top, because they found it that why should we have such kind of a competition which is not healthy? So every child is unique, they say that. Every child is good, every child is blessed. And just because you are in the top list doesn't mean you are good in everything. I feel that every child is unique and every child has been made uniquely by God. And we have all the acumen, all the capacity. The best that is instilled to us is there within us. It's just that we have to rekindle, we have to ignite that thing to make us somebody for the future to come.
Whenever we talk about education, there are expansive education, but what is the quality of education? Very recently, Niti Aayog has come up with the index of education in India amongst the larger states as well as among the smaller states. In the larger states, Kerala becomes the one. In the smaller states, Manipur is the one, the first. And Nagaland is in the 5th position with 48 point some percentage of marks. So you see that now why we are, as for example, as because I am now serving Nagaland, I am more interested in this state and its education from the school level to the university level. We need to bring about changes in the quality of education, the foundations of literacy and numeracy. What is the literacy? As a layman, I understand that literacy ultimately helps us to communicate, to read, to write, and to communicate. And which is always, it's a part of a human being. We always need to communicate. We always need to communicate in the greater sense of the term. Whatever we understand, we need to communicate. So therefore, reading, writing, and communicating is very important. In the same way, literacy, numeracy, that is the numbers. The simple numbers are required in the plus, minus, multiplications, and divisions. And these two are always the way of life. Whenever we have to, these abilities always make us to stand in the day-to-day activities of our life. Whenever we go to purchase anything, you need the numerology. Anybody. So therefore, you see that these two are very important, and these are the foundations of any kind of an education. I'm not talking about the language. The literature, you may be, now it is being told that the mother language is the best language to start with. But nowadays we know that you are living in a modern age and you need various kinds of languages also, not only on your mother language but other languages. The more language one can acquire, it is always an advantage, I believe. The thing is that numerology in the same pattern is always very important. There are complex numerologies also. Whenever we are writing the research papers and all, you need to have the complex numerology. The data need to be analyzed and all. Somebody was talking about my paper. So data envelope analysis. So there are different methods and uses are there. We use computers and softwares are there to run the show. So therefore these are, one has to acquire. But the thing is that, so that is why I feel that these topics are very important, that numerology, and we need to improve on the quality, and that lies not only all the stakeholders, because the teachers have a role to play, how to teach the numerology. Because I feel that there is a phobia about maths. Especially we find that in the northeastern region. I'm not talking, I do not know much about Nagaland, but in many parts of the northeastern regions we find that there are very less number of students who are going to the science streams. Why? Because the maths. Because that is the foundation. That foundation needs to be strong. Always I believe that school education needs to be stronger. So that if you have a very good foundations, so naturally top levels will be easier. So therefore, that school education, always we need to emphasize that we have to improve on the quality of school education. The new education policy may provide us an opportunity, because there are a lot of emphasis on holistic development. Because whenever we are producing the human resources, not only the education is one part, academic is a part, but other facets of life are also very important, because ultimately we have to fit in the society at large. We have to contribute positively to the society. I think from those angles, I think that new education policy will be very helpful.
At the outset, I would like to congratulate Livingston Foundation International Dimapur for having been selected by the CBSC as the only venue school in Nagaland to host this August state level conference seminar on the issues foundational literacy and numeracy, NEP and G20. So on that note, I also want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I bring greetings from my organization, my department, the Nagaland Bamboo Development Agency. Why this G20 was formed, and what is the relevance of us as students, as educators, as innovators. That is one point where I would like to delve on. The G20, as our professor has said, that it was formed as an international forum to tackle issues related to global economy, such as the international financial stability, climate change mitigation, and sustainable development. So because of three major issues, the G20 was formed 23 years ago. Now, from my background, I question myself, okay, how can I contribute in this G20 presidency that's happening in my country? So of the three areas that why G20 was formed, I thought maybe in the climate change mitigation and sustainable development, these are two areas where I can also contribute in some way. And this was what I thought the students, like you, students can also be part of in this G20 presidency when it's happening in our country. We still have 5 more months to go. It's going to end in November 30. Started last year in 1st December during our statehood day in Kohima. We have less water in our wells. We have less rainfall. We have increased ambient temperature. This is all because of climate change. And this is one reason why G20 was formed. And this is where all of us can also be a part of the G20 presidency. That's where I want to come in. So how can we contribute, you and I, from different age group, from different fields? Well, first, in my perspective, is we should have environmental awareness, as our professor has rightly stated. Environmental awareness, as we all know, is having an understanding on the environment, the impacts of our human behavior on it, and the importance of its protection. That's called environmental awareness. So, and to define environmental awareness, we also must first understand environmental movement or environmentalism. Environmentalism is an ideology that evokes the necessity and the responsibility of all of us humans to respect, protect, and preserve the natural world from its anthropogenic afflictions. Anthropogenic means the afflictions that are caused by human beings, by us. So environmental awareness is an integral part of the movement's success, which is environmentalism. By spreading awareness to others that the physical environment is fragile, like how I'm doing to you today. I'm telling you that it's getting hotter, water is becoming less, rainfall is becoming less. So it's all about spreading awareness. how you talk to your friend, how you talk to your neighbor, how do you talk to your parents. It all starts from there, environmental awareness. And we can begin fixing the issues that threaten it in very small ways. So, to be part of this movement, I'm not telling you to be an activist, to be, to become a Greta Thunberg. I'm not telling you that, but we can all contribute in some way. You can become environmental stewards, as easy as that. Like how these NCC cadets were, giving us the food and the water. We can all do that to environment as well, Environmental stewardship refers to the responsible use and protection of natural environment through active participation, not passive, active participation in conservation efforts and sustainable practices. So, you must have heard this environmental awareness in other platforms also, social media, newspapers, on the television. Environmental stewards can be broadly classified into 3 categories, where I'll tell you where all of us can fit in. First are the doers. So doers are people who are active in environmental aid and are hands-on. They're ready to get their hands dirty, to rough it out, to go and pick the garbages, such as volunteering to clean up your colony, to clean up your school, to clean up the sewages, garbages, or in some countries to clean up the oil spill. So these are the doers. So I think this is where all of us can fit in. Some of us, especially the students, we can fit in. We can be the doers. Number 2 are the donors. I can see my finger pointing right to your chairman here. Donors can contribute. They did not get their hands dirty. They need not rough it out in the streets, but they can contribute to a cause financially, which is commonly done through fundraising. Livingston Foundation is a perfect arena, I should say. It's a perfect avenue. It can be a launching pad for fundraising or personal donation, and benefactors of this category typically can also come from government agencies. So those are the donors. Number 3 are the practitioners. So who are the practitioners? They are the stewards who work on a day-to-day basis in the political field of environmental stewardship. And there also a person like our chairman, Dr. Ahoto, can be a perfect example. In the political field where policies are made, the practitioners can be actively involved to bring about environmental awareness. When we talk about climate, trees are always associated with climate. Trees. And from the organization that I come from, I represent a plant that grows the fastest in the world. And I'm talking about bamboo. A tree will take 25 years to mature. Bamboo takes only 3 to 5 years to mature. So, I encourage you all, when you plant trees, try to look for fast-growing trees, so that at least we can see that it's matured when we're still alive. So I think I'm very happy. So coming to that, so you can pick an issue like planting a tree can be one issue to mitigate climate change. It never rains in the desert. Have you seen rain in the desert? Why? Because there are no trees. Simple as that. It doesn't rain in the deserts because there are no trees in the desert. So I'm telling you, one day, if there are no more trees in Dimapur, for example, it's not going to rain here anymore. Serious. And if it doesn't rain, that is where life form inches towards losing its existence.